Originally, this was a thing I've kept in the vault because there was always something to be said for something like this. For example, well, it's a stand, so it should just work. While I believe in the same thing, Stone Ocean had a good amount of stands that connected up with real life phenomena, so it kind of makes sense. Plus, in this case, we had a direct quote of it. It was said that it was impossible to explain the phenomenon of Made in Heaven, but in summary, Made in Heaven uses the gravity of the whole universe and uses it to accelerate time. Now, it said it was impossible to explain, but for one, I think it meant it couldn't be explained all in that given space. Two, I'm gonna try my hand at it. So what we know is because of the stand chart, and that's Made in Heaven utilizes the gravitational power of the universe. The two questions to that is how and how does it work? Well, using the power of the universe is no minimal thing. To think about how many planets, how many solar systems, and how many galaxies are there, it would make this easy to comprehend. The difficulty in that though is that if everything is being harnessed, then what is continuously giving the other power because we're taking away from everything? If we're to control all of that power, yes, it would be astronomically powerful, but it wouldn't be exactly infinite because we would be leaving some power out. So black holes are the answer to this all. I'm sure that everyone knows what a black hole is, but it's about the properties of the black hole. In the center of one, its gravitational singularity and what takes place in there is ridiculous. You can also call this a singularity point, which would connect over into the phrases that Pucci had to recite for heaven. That's interesting and a neat little thing that Araki had included. Though on the singularity point, gravity and density, or well, at least we believe that it's density, I don't know what's going on at the moment, become infinite, and space-time curves infinitely. Even the laws of physics start to fall apart at the seams because of this. Even the concept of black holes are huge issues to what we know, and which is probably why Araki had this written that this is something not easily able to be explained because we don't even know how to explain it right now. But on the power, Made in Heaven utilizing the power of the universe makes a lot more sense when black holes are taken care of. It's the reason why Made in Heaven's speed is infinite, though the strength being B is very puzzling because the speed that he's moving at would make everything unfathomably strong, but you know, JoJo. Anyways, the point of it all is that Made in Heaven utilizes infinite gravitational power, which give it the speed that it has. Now, what it does for the universe. So, the constant speeding up of the universe is a puzzling thing. Many ask as to why everything moves faster, but no one is progressively aging. Well, the thing is that affecting time itself, and it doesn't affect the biological clocks that we have, or it doesn't affect any of this. It's not something that can be affected by. There's no way that gravity would be able to age something like that at all, or unless some type of kinetic energy can somehow alter it. That'd be really odd. But everything that was affected, that we had seen those things be connected to our laws of physics. Acceleration is faster, momentum is faster, gravity itself is faster. The best example that was given was the glass cup being dropped. With everything being faster, there would be no legitimate way for us to see that cup being dropped. If space-time is being pushed to move infinitely faster, even though that itself is kind of bizarre, then everything we would see would happen there. The solar system itself no longer moves as fast as it did. It does to the point now where we don't even recognize the sun as a sphere anymore. It also, for what happens with Araki's portrayal with how it works, it makes sense except for when it comes to aging of certain things. It didn't happen in the manga, but for what it would work like, it would work something like this. So you guys know erosion, right? Well, in here that would happen a lot faster because that's how it works there. It's really odd. Or for something like the man getting frozen for being in the freezer, that happened a lot faster because that area of time time in general was being sped up. And that's kind of odd because it doesn't really connect. You can't separate time in that entity. It's not like it was a control of gravity itself, not time. It's odd. I'm puzzled as to how that works that way because I can't connect any direct laws to how it works. It's odd, but how it works should be somehow where it's nearing how living things wouldn't age. Well, I'm more sure that gravity here would connect to some sort of energy that would give it a lot of reasons for those things to happen, but I can't find a direct answer for this. Since Made in Heaven is a phenomenon that does affect things like kinetic energy, then I guess a lot of things they would connect on a lot of dots. but at the moment I can't answer on those things because that's just I have no answer to that. But for what I originally asked and what was originally covered, I think I'm just gonna rest easy on that because I already answered what I was proposing. This is just some extra stuff. So thank you guys for watching. Now if you're asking like, oh Caleb, why are you a lot more quiet? I kind of sprained my voice because I was watching Evo. Shout out to Leffen and Sonic Fox for winning. Love those two players. Those are some of my favorite players of all time in general, just for all fighting games. But yeah, that's the answer to that. So thank you guys for watching. I'll be sure to go over anything else in the comments if you guys do ask. I have a lot of videos I'm working on for August in general, and now that I have this covered, and if you guys are still here, I'm going to make September the month where I just full on answer a lot of requests, and I also finish up a lot of series and stuff like that. For example, the JoJo timeline might be finished. I'm definitely going to be finishing the Explosive Users Tournament and all that type of stuff. It's all going to be finished in September. That's going to be Caleb's like wrap-up month, so be sure to check that out. But thank you all for watching. You can check out my media in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So until then, peace out and Godspeed.